president of this meeting, Comrade Savarimuthu, my dear comrades who have come from various parts of this country to attend the structure meeting that is scheduled at United India for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Comrades, JFTU is back in action. Even before the ink dries, there is an adage, even before the ink dries, even before we spend the arrears, salary arrears, the employees are on war path against the government, against the Joint Secretary, against the E&Y, and against this corporate management. So even before the ink dries, we are in the streets fighting against the policies of the government and policies of this management. We know there are three institutions which are to be attacked today. Because when this industry is going on in a steady phase, growing in a very steady space, this government want to dismantle the public sector general insurance companies. So we have to attack the government, we have to attack the joint secretaries, DFS, we also have to talk about the E&Y, the Ernst & Young, which gave the report on the KPI. Number one, as far as the government is concerned, the government is hell-bent to privatize the public sector general insurance companies. The government could not succeed in spite of the measures that the government took in the last 10 years or 15 years to privatize the public sector general insurance companies. The government said, your solvency margin is less than 1.5. We were talking to the management, we were talking to the government that solvency margin is not a matter at all, and even in the countries, even in the advanced countries, the solvency margin is only 1 and 1.5 is not required. The government tried that ploy, the government could not succeed. The government tried to delay the wage revision, to demotivate the employees, to demoralize the employees, so that the employees will be quitting or the employees will be opting for VRS and going out of the company. The government could not succeed, and we succeeded. For fighting for 62 months, we could get a better wage revision for the employees and officers in the general insurance industry. The government tried to play, there is no level playing field for the general insurance companies, especially for the public sector general insurance companies. The private insurance companies have an advantage, have an edge when they go to the market when compared to the public sector general insurance companies. We complained to the IRDA, we complained to the government, we complained to the DFS, but no action was taken. The government wanted the public sector general insurance company to get destroyed in the market, but that ploy was also defeated by the public sector general insurance company. Today we are growing better than the private insurance companies. The government says, yesterday there was a question in the Rajya Sabha, an unstarred question. One Ragim has asked a question, one MP has asked a question about the strength of the public sector general insurance company, the manpower strength of the public sector general insurance company. The government in its first reply, first sentence said, these public sector general insurance companies are board-governed entities. Now we are asking the government, is it a board-governed entity? Are we given the autonomous to run our company? Are we given the autonomous to do whatever we wish to do? Are we given the autonomous to decide the rates? So nothing is decided by the general insurance companies. Everything is dictated from the top. But the government, without any shame, has given a reply that it is a board-governed entities. So we are challenging the government that it is not a board-governed entities. It is become a department of the government. The government is trying to micromanage each and every affairs of the public sector general insurance companies. So we are against the government. The government said it is only minimum government, maximum governance. When the government came to power, they say it is minimum government, maximum governance. Today what is happening? Today each and everything is referred to the government. Each and everything is referred to the joint secretary. And that joint secretary is dictating the terms to the public sector general insurance company. So government policies are to dismantle the public sector general insurance companies. So we oppose the government policies, we oppose the current dispensation, and we will continue to oppose to protect the public sector general insurance company. The second thing is the joint secretary, the DFS and the joint secretary. Normally we don't talk about individuals, because as a trade union movement we know that the policies of the government or the policies of the neoliberal policies are the things that are affecting the performance of the public sector general insurance company. Individuals have a role to play, but they are not designing the policies. It is only the system or the economic policy or the overall global policies that determine the functioning of each and every public sector in any country today. So we don't normally attack the individuals. But today we have taken a stand in JFTU that we have to target the joint secretary, so Mr. Saurabh Mishra, who is at the helm today, who is in charge of the general insurance companies and life insurance corporation of India. And who is Saurabh Mishra? Saurabh Mishra is not an IAS officer. Saurabh Mishra may be the joint secretary of DFS today, but he is not an IAS officer. A IAS officer knows
how to function a public sector enterprises. A joint secretary who has joined the industry, who has joined the DFS through lateral entry does not know about the functioning of the public sector general insurance company. He may be a CEO of a Swiss reinsurance company. His credentials, if you take the credentials of the Saurabh Mishra, the joint secretary of DFS, his credential is he was the CEO of Swiss Re, a private reinsurance company. From there, he was handpicked by the ministry. He was handpicked by the BJP to work in the DFS as joint secretary. And today, for the period of 3 years, he was given the contractual employment. And after 3 years, he put it in his KPI. The KPI that he is trying to implement, he also has a KPI. He said the first 3 years, whatever he has implemented has become the credentials of the Saurabh Mishra today, joint secretary today. Number one, he say, I have implemented the LIC amendment bill. The government was hesitating to bring LIC amendment bill because the government knows if it brings the LIC amendment bill directly in the parliament, the MPs in one voice, including the BJP MPs, including the allies of NDA government, will oppose the LIC amendment bill. So the government did not bring LIC amendment bill straight into the parliament. They camouflaged in the budget and they brought it through the budget speech. When Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, presented the budget, she made it as a part of the budget and presented it as a money bill so that it did not go to the Rajya Sabha. Money bill need not go to Rajya Sabha. A voting in the parliament in the Lok Sabha is enough to pass the money bill. So they passed it in the Lok Sabha and say that the LIC amendment bill is passed. Thanks to Saurabh Mishra, who gave this brilliant idea to the finance minister. That is one of the credentials of the joint secretary too. Joint secretary today. The second credentials of the joint secretary is Jimna amendment bill. We had a proviso. In the last Jimna amendment bill, there was a proviso that 51% of the share should be held by the government of India. That's this joint secretary talked to the finance ministry and brought the bill, Jimna amendment bill, which removed that proviso. And today, all the 4 public sector general insurance companies, 100% of the stake can be sold to the private insurance companies. That is the second achievement of this joint secretary. The third achievement is the IPO in LIC. The entire world was suffering. When there was a global crisis, when there was a fall in the stock market globally, nobody will venture to go for IPO in LIC. But this gentleman convinced the government and said, whatever may be the situation, our issue is not getting the money. We do not want the money from the LIC, from the sale of the LIC shares. We want LIC to be privatized. So 1%, 2%, 3.5% is enough to start the story. And he brought the bill and LIC IPO was introduced. And today, the 850 rupees share, 900 rupees share is quoted in the stock market for 650 rupees, 620 rupees. This is the most unfortunate thing for LIC. But Saurabh Mishra's credential has gone up in the ministry. He was rewarded. He was rewarded with a 2 years extension. And in these 2 years, he has given a KPI. What is that KPI? To privatize the public sector general insurance company, to dismantle the public sector general insurance company, to increase the IPO shares, privatization of the LIC from 3.5% to 25%. So he is moving ahead. So we are targeting Saurabh Mishra, the joint secretary of the DFS, who is trying to dismantle the public sector general insurance company at the biggest of private insurance companies. The third thing is E&Y. Who is E&Y today? It is an MNC. It is a multinational corporation. And what is the role of the E&Y throughout the world, throughout globally? They have 2 wings. One is an auditing wing, second is a consultant wing. And that auditing wing, today, that was penalized by the Securities and Exchange Commission for a sum of rupees 700 crores. And that E&Y, who has appointed auditors who are not qualified and got certificates, fake certificates, like many of our MPs today. Many of our ministers in the central government today have only fake certificates, not original certificates. So E&Y, I do not know whether he had attended any parliament session or any cabinet meeting, but they have appointed auditors who have produced fake certificates, and those auditors audited the other firms and found some discrepancy in those firms. They are fraudulent auditors, and that fraudulent company is trying to handhold the 50-year-old United India Insurance Company, Oriental Insurance Company, National Insurance Company, New India Insurance Company. It is unfortunate our senior GMs, our chairman, who have put in 35 years of service, 40 years of service, who have put in who are very honest persons, who are not corrupt. And these people are handholden by the corrupt E&Y, and that is why we oppose the appointment of E&Y. That is why the slogan, go back E&Y, or withdraw the E&Y as a consultant for the public sector general insurance company. Now we come to the issue. What is KPI? We are not bothered about what is KPI. We are asking a basic question to the management. When they appointed the consult, why KPI? The management is not able to reply. The chairman is not able to reply. We know the chairman are the four companies top management. It is a weak management. We told it here. In the wage revision, when we conducted a struggle for wage revision, we told we have a very weak management. Weakness is not because of the capacity. Weakness is not because of they could not do better business. Weakness is because they do not have the authority to even recruit a sub-staff in the general insurance companies. Weakness is because they do not have an authority to decide which office should be open and which office should be closed. Weakness is because they do not have the authority to purchase a property or to sell a property. These are the weaknesses that we say. A weak management, and that weak management is hand-holding and going behind the E&Y. That is the most unfortunate thing. When we ask him what is KPI, why KPI, they are not in a position to say. Why KPI, we are asking. Are you going to improve the growth of the organization, industry, for public sector general insurance company? What is the growth of the public sector general insurance company today? It is 17%, 18%, 20% is the growth of the public sector general insurance company today. We are asking the E&Y, we are asking the Joint Secretary, please review your performance in the government. What is the growth of the Indian economy today? The quarter results have come, the second quarter results have come. It is less than 6%. It is less than 6%. When the Indian economy is growing at less than 6%, the general insurance companies are growing at the rate of 15% to 20%. Is it not a big achievement? Why do we need E&Y? Without E&Y, we are growing at the rate of 15%, 20% means why you have brought E&Y? Is it for the profit of the public sector general insurance company? Can you say one private insurance company which has done profit, underwriting profit consecutively for 2 years, 3 years? There is no company anywhere in the world. You take the balance sheet of any private insurance companies throughout globally. There is no private insurance company which has consecutively done 3 years underwriting profit. Because the nature of the general insurance business is such like that a calamity, a one natural calamity will wipe off your entire profit for many years together. So that is the nature of the general insurance business. And even the question of profitability, though 3 years we could not make profit because of the government directions to clean the balance sheets and to give huge provisioning on IBNR and other provisioning, we could not show the profits. This year I am confident United India will show profit in spite of the huge arrears that we have received from the wage front. The United India insurance companies IBNR was 12,000 crore in the last financial year. This awfully, they are going to give only 150 crores to 200 crores as IBNR. 11,500 crores provisioning is going to be reduced, and that is going to have an impact on your profit also. So it is not profit making can be done in the public sector general insurance company. If you want to show loss, we can show loss. If you want to show profit, we can show profit. All these accounting, these juggleries are there in the public sector general insurance companies. So for profit, you have not appointed E&Y. Then what for you appointed the E&Y? Is it for management expenses? Yes, the public sector general insurance companies are incurring a management expenses of around 28% or 30%. But you take ICICI Lombard. The ICICI Lombard management expenses ratio is 34%. Of course, it is not, the major part is not on wages like public sector general insurance company, but it is 34%. ME ratio is 34%. Though wage is only 20% or 30% of the 34%, the major component is sales promotion and advertisement. How many advertisements of ICICI Lombard we have seen? But how they are showing 9,000 crores in advertisement, how they are showing 1,600 crores in sales promotion, IRDA do not have the dare to ask the ICICI Lombard. But IRDA pokes its nose for each and every issue in the public sector general insurance companies. So it is not for management expenses. Is it for the number of offices that we have? We have 8,000 offices. We have an office in each and every villages also. Each and every village we have one micro offices. That is the strength of the public sector general insurance company. That is not the weakness. When we started our journey in 1971, when the private insurance companies were nationalized, one of the important objectives declared by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was, if this sector is nationalized, we will ensure that the general insurance business goes to the rural areas and ensure that rural products are developed and given to the common people of this country. That is what we are doing. That is the strength of the public sector general insurance company, not the weakness. So why KPA, the management is not able to reply, the P&Y is not able to reply. What is KPA is mentioned in many charts and other things. Comrade here spoke very beautifully about the slide. Full report of E&Y was not given. Slides were shown, very beautiful charts, very flowery language was presented to the corporate management and the regional management to show that we are going to progress. We are telling the management that this is not the way to progress. This is not the shortcut to progress. If you want to progress, you talk to the stakeholders. We are here to give the suggestions. We are the people who build this organization, not E&Y. Don't go behind the E&Y. Talk to the stakeholders, and we are prepared to give you concrete suggestions. We are prepared for change. We are not opposed to change. No organization can survive without adopting the change or accepting the change. We are for change, but the change should come from internally, not from externally. People who do not know what is indemnity, what is insurable interest, cannot give recommendations to the public sector general insurance companies. And when you talk about indemnity, in one sentence, the indemnity is explained. We are asking the KPI, we are asking the E&Y, whether you know what is indemnity. One simple sentence says, indemnity is a principle by which an insured is brought back to the original position where he was prior to the loss. Where he was prior to the loss. In this words, this sentence, there are a lot of meaning in this sentence. In this sentence, there is an inclusion of subrogation. There is an inclusion of contribution. There is an inclusion of average class. There is an inclusion of salvage class. Whether E&Y is aware of all these things, why you have given it to E&Y? We are asking the management, top management, don't bend before the E&Y. Don't crawl before the E&Y. There was when the emergency was declared in 1975, when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, emergency was declared. One media person wrote, journalist wrote, the media was asked to bend because emergency was declared before the government. When the media was asked to bend, they crawled before the government. But the same writer, journalist, today he wrote, seeing this Modi government, he said, on that day media was asked to bend, they crawled. Today media is not asked to bend. Even before they asked to bend, they are crawling before this present dispensation. This is what this same journalist said. We are asking the management, top management, do not bend, do not crawl before E&Y. We will stand before you. We will stand behind you. If you do not want to take the risk, please stand behind us. We will oppose E&Y. We will oppose the DFS proposals of KP and other things. We are very confident. We are confident we will definitely win in this battle. The first battle was won yesterday, day before yesterday, when 3 of the DGMs in Chennai have given a letter that it is very difficult to implement the JFTU and ask the management to put on hold. That is the beginning of our success story. It is going to continue. Throughout the country, we are asking our JFTU people, our constituents, to talk to the management and get a letter that it is difficult to implement KPI in our region. That will create a big impact in the head office level and also at the DFS level. We are telling the management again, the E&Y is not a Pied Piper. E&Y is not a Pied Piper, nor we are the rats to follow them. So we will stand against the E&Y, we will stand against the proposals of the government, and we will stand against the management also if they try to crawl or if they try to force on us to implement the report of the E&Y of the KPA. So let us stand united. The big battle is going to come in the days to come. It is not going to be an easy task because we are opposing 3 important organizations, including the government. So when we say we oppose the government, the battle is not a short battle, it is going to be a long-drawn battle. So let us prepare ourselves, be prepared for a bigger struggle, and definitely the success will be ours. And with this, I come to reference. Thank you, comrades.
தோழர்களே, JF2 சவுத் ஜோன் சார்பாக உங்கள் ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். வருகிற ஜனவரி 5ஆம் தேதி JF2 அகில இந்திய JF2 திரும்பவும் கூட இருக்கிறது. கடந்த 9ஆம் தேதி எடுத்த முடிவின்படி வருகிற 21ஆம் தேதி இதே போன்று இந்தியா முழுவதும் இத்தகைய வாயில் கூட்டம் நடைபெறும். 28ஆம் தேதி ஒரு வாயில் கூட்டம் நடைபெறும். அதற்கு பிறகு 4ஆம் தேதி தர்ணா நடைபெறும். இந்தியா முழுவதும் இருக்கிற ரீஜனல் அலுவலகங்களும் ஹெட் ஆஃபீஸிலும் நடைபெறும். 5ஆம் தேதி அடுத்த கட்ட முடிவை ஆல் இண்டியா JF2 எடுக்கும். நம்முடைய உரிமைகளை பாதுகாக்க நாம் ஒன்றுபட்டு போராடுவோம், கண்டிப்பாக அதில் வெல்வோம் என்று சொல்லி உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகிறோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.